Oh. Yeah. No, I texted Lisa and Brian. Lisa's going to pick them up. Yeah, they're good. All right, thanks. Bye.
They're good, everybody.
I love you hit the record button, too. Hey, look, I got 3
button.
kids, man. I got to take care of the family first. This Samboner show bullshit, it's come second.
Welcome back to another episode of the Samboner Show. You heard Mickey there, paying the bills, organizing pickup for the kids. Everything we do here, folks, at the Samboner Show is brought to you by our friends of the original Fudge Kitchen, fudgekitchens.com, shipping fudge and sweet treats across the country. All you South Jersey shoobies that go down there for the summer know all about it, but they're open year-round, and they ship all over the country, too. So, hey, check them out, fudgekitchens.com, shipping fudge and sweet treats across the country. Everybody knows how good that is. Mickey, I had to do the intro today because you said you're feeling good and you played around a golf and had a beer today with a Phillies logo on it and you're all excited, but I know you're still down in the dumps, buddy. How you doing?
No, it's been a tough week, man. I'll be honest with you. I'm glad we're recording this episode here on Thursday rather than the normal Monday, Tuesday, because it's been a slow recovery. I'll be honest with you, but was able to manage to get 18 holes in this morning. Capped it off with a nice cold beer. It had a MLB logo on it. I know today's the first day for pitchers and catchers to report. So like the little things that just help you kind of get over that Super Bowl hangover, man. It's a bummer, but we all got to plow through. We got to keep on grinding. And like I always say, man, you got to keep on Samboning.
Damn right. The great Jack Connell's joining us today from my show, my co-host, who also presses all the buttons behind the scenes for us. Jack Connell, meet Samboner Nation. What's going on, Jack?
Nothing much. Same old, same old. We're finally hitting the strides of the offseason. Everything's sort of calming down from the Super Bowl, even though probably Mick is, even as much as he doesn't want to admit it. But, it's been nice to kind of relax for a few days and decompress from the craziness that was Super Bowl week and the week before it.
Yeah, it has. I just go back from Key West. I'm going to wring out my liver for a week, and then I go back down there for a weekend.
Does it stop? I mean, does it stop though? You got the World Series run, you got Thanksgiving, you got Christmas, you got the Super Bowl run. I mean,
here's what I'm doing this year. Here's what I'm doing this year. Everyone is sober January, and I question it because you need a couple pops, and maybe if you're celebrating the holidays to help holiday blues right into the playoffs. Like drinking throughout the playoffs, the first weekend of the playoffs in the NFL is awesome. It's like college football. There's games all day. Why wouldn't you have a couple of beers during that? And then obviously the Super Bowl runs, and the Super Bowl, to me, April's the perfect month for sobriety. 4 weeks of sobriety. If you're trying to do that to clean up your health a little bit, you got the Masters, which you want to nap through anyways. Baseball season started, which it's really not even the heart of it. You're doing that for the summer, save that for drinking then. So April, man, especially you got opening day in March, you can still have a couple pops for that. And then after that, and March Madness is coming to an end. Boom. I think it's sober April, Nick. That's
you got it wrong. I think you got it all wrong, to be honest with you. I think now is the time to hunker down. As soon as the Super Bowl is over, from now until opening day is when you got to hunker down. Yeah, there's a couple exceptions in St. Patrick's Day, but dude, come opening day, come spring, all I want to do is cook out and drink and have fun.
No.
Few exceptions except the biggest drinking day of the year.
Like that's a mess. First off, speaking of a mess, Pat Connell. I mean, you should have. If you didn't listen to the beginning of our show yesterday, Nick, and that's fine. You're not expected to. We don't pay your bills to listen to our shows, but this guy, this goofball, is trying to tell me that it wasn't a good forum to Sambone, the Stromboli that my parents and I got for the Super Bowl. Like, what do you mean, man? I'm at home. Like, I can't Sambone it. Explain yourself, Jack, because this is ridiculous on my show yesterday, and I didn't have Mick there to defend me.
So yeah, I didn't say it was a good forum. I just didn't really think of it. It was literally 4 of us. It was me and my sister, my parents.
That's a Samboning violation to begin with. I didn't think of it. Are you kidding me? I'm in Key West. We had 40 people down there to organize this huge event, and I'm in and out before this game, and it didn't even slip my mind. Outside right away, I found a seat to put the phone up on, a bike seat that was attached to a fence with shots and giggles in the back seat. I mean, come on, Jack. If there's a will, there's a way. You're either a Samboner or you're not, pal.
Well, I mean, again, right here, this is the exact same comparison I brought. You're comparing Michael Jordan of Samboning to Mr. Irrelevant of Samboning. Like,
not true.
Michael Jordan finds a way. And it's just I'm not at that level yet. I will
So,
admit
Jack,
that.
I got to defend you. Colin's off his game already here early on the episode 13. Way off his game. Home Sambones are boring. Like, I hate to say it, Sambo Nation, love you, keep on Samboning, but you got to get out. You got to, like, Colin, I give you all the credit in the world. You post up in front of shits and giggles or whatever, shots and giggles. But home Samboning is boring. You got to get out. You got to get some signage in the mix. You got to get out with the people. You can't just get your tuck away in your home and eat a turkey and cheese sandwich.
Shots and giggles they don't make food. They just sell beer, booze, drinks. That food was homemade.
I can tell.
I Sambone the whole homemade cheese whiz. Shout out to Cooper Cheese on the Amoroso roll. Shout out to Amoroso rolls. I don't want to hear it. And those listening at home, they're agreeing with me. I would assume like, oh, I got this awesome pizza from somewhere, and I could step out for 5 minutes and act like a lunatic on camera. That's sign me up for that. So that's soft on you both because Jack and I do his buffalo chicken stromboli.
You know what? I gotta be honest with you. You're right, man, because we had the most unbelievable spread on Super Bowl.
But you're not going to Sambone it?
There was no Sambone, just a big group picture, you know. And
Nice.
Looking back on it, like, yeah, weak sauce, absolute weak sauce.
Good times. Get a pick, guys. We're not going to go and do a video. I mean, why are we even doing this show? I'm the newbie.
The fucking wine and spirits were flowing.
Listen, at the same point, the last thing to defend myself before I move on from it, and Colin, I'm sure whip me again. It was also 6:15 when I sat down to eat the buffalo chicken stromboli. My eyes were on the national anthem and everything else and all that stuff.
What a patriot! What a patriot!
But I mean, like you're thinking, you're watching the Super Bowl, like you're not going to step away from that to say you're not going to miss like the opening kickoff because you wanted to record an at-home stromboli.
Ball was not kicked off till like 7:00, but you know that just as well as I do. It's okay. They're just not going to win this one. Like I'm not letting Mick go down to the soft side of. There's literally no reason why you can't Sambone. You could Sambone during kickoff. Videotape yourself right in front of the TV. I'm Samboning, but I'm down. I mean, think about that. It would have been viral. I digress. You know what? Mick adopts me as one of his own. The boys adopt me as one of their own. And I'm the one standing steadfast, which, you know what? You got to.
Young and hungry,
Let's go. Let's transition as we're fired up here on a Thursday. Mickey, the food spread you guys got going on. What'd you have, bud?
Unbelievable. So let's give some shout outs here. We got the tomato pie from Corpalese, which is likely the best tomato pie in the entire region. We had the hoagies from Sam's Italian Market right here in Willow Grove, PA. Shout out Dino, always taking care of the Samboners. The MVP of the actual day was Drew Dale, and I'll get more into that. Drew represented Altamonte's Italian Market over in Warminster. I believe they have a location in Doylestown. He brought a good 48 homemade meatballs. My brother chimed in with some wings, nothing extraordinary there. HG Coal Fire of some sort. I think it's a chain. The wing game around Super Bowl is a lot of work. Everywhere you call is just absolutely flooded with orders. You got to call practically on Tuesday or Wednesday if you wanted to get them from Mesquite or Union Jacks. Pat made his legendary dips. A couple other Samboner families chimed in with some hot roast pork, roast beef, buffalo chicken dips. You name it, we had it. And it was an absolute feeding frenzy, Samboner fest. And the only thing that didn't happen was we didn't win the game. Damn it.
Yeah. Hell of a football game, a hell of a spread. So the spread at Shots and Giggles in Key West, Florida, which has been the bar of the week for me multiple times. My uncle owns it. My uncle used to work at the Cactus Crew in Doylestown, not in Doylestown. He worked in the Roosevelt Blue Star in Doylestown, worked at Cactus Grill up of 611 there. And then he moved down to Key West, and we now migrate down there to see him. But you know, Steve and Hanya put an amazing spread out for every football game down there. Steve made which a violation too. He made the ground beef, the cheesesteak beef, and he made a side of one with cheesesteak, with onions and peppers, and then one plain, which is a violation. It's mushrooms and onions, not onions and peppers, folks. And then he had a block of Cooper Sharp cheese that somebody brought down, melted that down with a bunch of cream, made this unreal cheese whiz as you guys saw. We had shout out to everybody from the Philadelphia area that came down and just drug bags and bags and bags of Amoroso rolls. People made homemade deviled eggs. People bought, and which was great, got barbecue delivered of brisket and pulled pork for Kansas City. So the one gentleman there was every time the Kansas City would score, he's running around. There's a bunch of Eagles fans in there offering people brisket and Kansas and pulled pork, which was really fun too. So just shout out to the bartenders and the staff at Shots and Giggles. They put an amazing event on. Go in there and have minimum 2 drinks, and you can eat that full spread. So we took care of that.
I think your entire experience in Key West over the last couple of weeks, we should cover an entire show on it. Honestly, it sounds like just an overall really good time. It's a home away from home. Lots of Philadelphia love down there. It seems like
Mr. Z's. I mean, that's incredible there, man. All the old newspapers on the walls, and I talk about it all the time, and I get it. It's a dead horse, but no, it's something special about the place when it comes to, the people and the investment into Philadelphia area down there. Like, it was strong. It was cool because people from Philly, they wear their stuff all week, right? Like Eagle shirts all day long.
Yeah.
And then on Super Bowl Sunday, we're walking to breakfast and you just see red everywhere. And we're like, oh, interesting. Some more Kansas City fans. But it doesn't shock me that Philly's got like 50 jerseys in their wardrobe and they all brought them
now they're heading probably a little north to Clearwater and St. Pete, representing Philly.
That's right. So
we had an unbelievable day just across the board. Very thankful to bring 85% of the OGs together. Kev, unfortunately, did not make the trip from down south. I think he went into Charleston and found like an Eagles bar to go watch the game, which is another just like cool aspect of Philadelphia and the way we represent across the country in terms of just finding bars where you could go post up and be around Philadelphia Eagles fans to enjoy the game. And that dude, I'm sorry, but Kansas City's a good team, great fan base, but they don't have that type of following that the Philadelphia faithful have. But I'd like to move right into I got to get this off my chest because I just when we get together as Samboners, we always talk about like bringing your A game. Let's have a fucking day. Let's get after it. And Samboner Drew was immediately awarded MVP of the day before it even started. Guy walks into the house with 48 meatballs from Altamonte's Deli. He's got his hair all slicked out into a mullet, right? So we got a nice clean cut. He's got the mullet rocking here. Definitely some nice little grease, some gel in there. Then he's got a full Fu Manchu. He's probably been growing it for 3 weeks. Walks in half buzzed, bottle of bourbon in one hand, 48 meatballs in the other. I looked at my brother. I go, MVP. Drew's got it. Done deal.
Samboner.
The Italian beef, baby.
Most valuable Samboner. You can't beat it.
Most valuable Samboner on Super Bowl Sunday.
A lot of people engaging through the Super Bowl process, Mick, like the last 2 weeks, like getting jacked up for the Super Bowl through the Samboner pages, like people crushing cheesesteaks. Like, what's that been like too? Because it's a big it helps the Samboners grow when the Eagles keep winning.
It does. But we're very fortunate. I mean, Philadelphia sports right now, just in general, unfortunately, coming off a World Series loss, coming off a Super Bowl loss. If you're a soccer fan, coming off a championship soccer loss. But only the strong survive. We continue to plow through all this and just continue to grind. And if you're a 4-for-4 guy like myself, the Sixers are a red hot team. Jack, I know you're a big Sixers fan as well. They're red hot and they have all the right momentum, heading into the second half of the year to be NBA championship contenders. Now, hopefully they can, capitalize on a crown here, because that would be a tough blow to go 0-for-3 or 0-for-4 here in a short 4 or 5 months. But it's a good time. It's a good time to be a Samboner, boys and girls.
Yeah, my Flyers suck on wheels, but hopefully there's some sort of direction here. Jackie, we got to get you involved in the show a little bit. Give us a reason why the Sixers will win the championship or lose the championship this year.
I will say I'll start with the reason they lose, because that's the more easier option. It's their depth. They needed a backup center desperately. There was a lot of backup centers on the trade market, free agency, buyout market, everywhere. And out of all the options, they decided to just sign the guy who was cut with the worst net rating in the entire NBA, Dwayne Dedmon. He used to be a great player, but he's at the end of his career. He literally cannot stay on the court. He was like a -20 when he's on the court. So anybody who watches basketball, who doesn't watch basketball, that just means when he's on this court, the team was losing by 20 points, essentially. Like, right. That's how bad he was to their defense. Maybe he could change it around. Maybe it was Miami's system, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be fixed. Montrezl Harrell, who's great on offense, and Paul Reed, who's great on offense. they have no defense. So we are experiencing the exact same issue that has plagued the 76ers for the last 4 to 5 years with Greg Monroe, Dwayne Dedmon, DeAndre Jordan, just a old backup center who can't play defense or stay on the court. And the guys they have had, Dwight Howard and Andre Drummond, have either they were traded or they left for greener pastures. So it's just a shame to see that. But on the positive side, the James Harden, Joel Embiid are playing great. James Harden should have been an all-star. He's not. And Joel Embiid's averaging 33 points per game. I'm pretty sure he's a scoring leader. If not, he's like very much in second place right behind Luka Doncic.
Yeah, they're fun to watch, man. They are fun to watch right now.
So they're rolling. We'll see. Embiid's health, obviously, is always a thing. And then Mick, as we transition, Pat, absolute masterpiece. Can you talk about it?
Oh, my God, dude. Creative Pat, a.k.a. Fat Pat, Samboner Pat. So we all know he created that prototype Lombardi trophy, right, out of tinfoil. We talked about it last week in the last week's episode. Sunday, he rolls into the Samboner Festival with a makeshift Lombardi trophy out of bread. I wish I sent you a picture. I don't know if you can flash it up, but it's like 3 pieces of Italian, like ciabatta bread. And then on top is a loaf of bread that you would almost use for like a spinach dip. Yeah, there you go. You got it up. Unfortunately, the kids wrecked that after we lost, but let me just tell you, that was an unbelievable work of art from Samboner Pat. The kid just continues to impress us with his creative mind. Let's take a quick break here. Give a shout out to our boys over at the Rust Belt Nation brand, all dedicated towards hardworking, resilient Americans that represent our nation's value at the core. I got to send you guys some of these hoodies. These reverse weave style hoodies, the most comfortable hoodies I've ever had on my back. Some of these t-shirts designs that they're spinning up, these collaborations that they're having with the Philadelphia Eagles, the homage they're paying to some of these brands that no longer are around, like Camden Beer and so forth. Just a cool vibe and a cool brand that these guys are spinning up right out of South Philadelphia. Rust Belt, rustbeltnation.com. Get on board. Discount code Samboner if you want to save a couple bucks. I could care less, but get on board Rust Belt Nation. These guys are doing wonders here in Philadelphia. Back to the show.
Love you, Sharon. Appreciate you sharing that. That's awesome. Rust Belt Nation, man. Check them out. Okay. Mickey, crazy game. I'll let you collect your thoughts here about the game here because I just kind of digress over some of the bigger topics. Absolutely the holding call. Opinion on that for me as a player is they call that all the time. It could go either way. What's behind the line of scrimmage? There's a lot to unpack there. I think it could have been called either way. If the ball's not thrown there, right? It's not a penalty, in my opinion. Maybe it was because it happened early in the down. And then obviously the grass was a situation. We've talked about players wearing screw-ins, not wearing screw-ins. Even players wearing screw-ins were tripping. So that's a tough situation too. Obviously the quarterbacks both showed up and played really well. The coaches had great seasons. And, obviously the Eagle staff's really good and really well respected because both the coordinators are gone. Same thing could happen in Kansas City with the coordinators they have there. And obviously the head coaches on both teams are very well. So obviously a very even matchup. Whoever team that was going to beat themselves was probably going to lose the game. Shocker. But that's kind of what happened in certain situations. And is just an unbelievable all-timer Super Bowl, in my opinion, between two really franchises that are going on this point of time in the dynasty mode here with what they have, the core they have, the people they have, the quarterbacks they have, the coaches they have, the fan bases, the owners, the GMs. They're both in dynasty kind of trajectory. If they're not there already. Nick, thoughts on the game, bro?
No, I thought right when it finished, it was basically considered an instant classic, right? It's a game that you could watch the next day and probably the following day. I'm not going to pin that game on a holding call, with 2 minutes to go. The unfortunate part is that it was called and not a lot of flags were being thrown the entire second half. And like you said, both quarterbacks played an unbelievable game, and one of them didn't really have an opportunity to drive down and maybe score a kind of a game-winning touchdown. And unfortunately, that call took that opportunity away from them. That same exact play, there was a major hands to the face that just I guess gets shadowed from the holding call, but it was a blatant hands to the face. But again, we can't wrap our hands around that specific call, right? Jalen Hurts, 1 turnover. Patrick Mahomes, 0 turnovers, right? That 1 turnover led to a defensive touchdown. That's fucking huge in the Super Bowl to turn the ball over and it result into a touchdown. That sucks. The whole sod gate that everybody's starting to talk about. Like, I don't know. I don't get wrapped into all that nonsense, but I did watch the replay. Like, after watching it the second time, like, man, alive, these guys are falling and slipping everywhere. Like, my boy Hakeem Reddick, who's just an absolute force to be reckoned with, was a non-factor. Like, he was not getting off the ball. He was not applying any pressure to the quarterback. And a lot of these guys, like, it's just weird, right? I'm not going to get off on a tangent here, but the whole media aspect of the Super Bowl, I think it needs to be dialed down. I think we see too much. I think, the two weeks leading up to that, it's just too much bullshit that we have to see and hear about these players. I think that would be better off just like letting these kids disappear for a couple of days before that game start, and then we go out there and we just bang heads and we have fun. But I don't know, man. I'm not gonna continue to vent, but Roger Goodell can go fuck himself. No, you got to edit that. See, I was venting. I'm sorry. I couldn't help it.
Sorry, we're gonna make Mick go back and edit it so he can figure.
I don't know how to do all that. I don't edit. But give me a fucking break. Why are you laughing and celebrating and hugging those players? You're the commissioner, dude. Divided line. Support one team, support the other. You're over there high fiving, chest bumping, giving hugs to the other player. Give me a freaking break, dude.
Yes, lots to unpack there for sure.
Edit it
out. You can keep it. You can speak your mind. It's not me speaking my mind. That's fine. He's my boss. He's not yours. So you can speak your mind.
I'm sorry.
You didn't leave your good, buddy. You're fine. I think there's a lot to unpack there. The Hassan Reddick thing, I said it before. They're not going to let Hassan Reddick beat him. So yes, there's some times he slipped for sure, but they chipped him. They had tight ends around him. They had running backs on him. He's facing a good O-line in Kansas City too now. So they're like, there's no way. Like, people are thinking Hassan Reddick to be MVP. Hassan Reddick is one of the best defensive players in the NFL. Quote me. I've said it before. I played with him at Temple. I played him in Carolina. I blocked him when he was with Arizona. I played against him for a long time and played with him. But there was no way Kansas City was going to let that guy wreck that game, because he did it against the Niners and he single-handedly blew it up. Andy Reid's seen elite defenders before. You got to find a way to stop him. So, yeah. Now what, Mickey? You got baseball. You got summer on the horizon. What do you got, buddy?
Yeah, no, it's like I said, it's a very interesting time of the year, right? Because we just went from World Series, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Super Bowl. We gotta dial it down a little bit, right? Drop a couple pounds.
It's over.
Oh man, but the weather's been great, dude. To sneak in 18 holes in the middle of February, maybe grab a salad here and there, cut back on the beer. But no, dude, it's still one of the greatest transitions, because the spring will be here. March Madness is right around the corner. St. Patrick's Day. Baseball starts on March 30th. So we just got to continue to just keep on keeping on and have fun with it, man. Let the good times roll.
Let the good times roll, Jackie. What's next for you now, Jackie? That football, as we'll get to the bar week here in a little bit, Mickey. Now that football is kind of dialed down for you, Jack, in the back.
Kind of take a step back. I mean, honestly, for me, for enjoyment pleasures, I'll probably turn my attention towards the NBA and trying to figure out March Madness a week before it starts, like I do every year for the last 10 years. I'm never right about anything. I just pick one team that's popular than everybody else is picking, and I say they're going to win. But so, I mean, then just from work, it's just like I'm a workaholic, so just trying to figure out new things to be better for the next year. So that's literally the three things I'll probably take up.
Text the other day, Colin. Jack was up at 5:30. He was pounding.
Yeah, he's got to now.
At 5:30 a.m.
That's because Ross pays him the big money to do it. Before that, I would want to shoot. I would want to shoot at 8:30 in the morning, and Jack would be like, "Oh, dude, I'm gonna need 3 pounds of coffee." And then Ross was like, "Hey, we got to record in the morning." And Jack's like, "I don't know, I'm gonna do it, but it's good. It's getting you up, Jackie. It's rocking the boat a little bit for you, buddy." I'll say
I
this
enjoy
too.
it.
We'll have a March Madness. I love getting up early. Honestly, going to bed early, getting up early, good living. So. Mickey, we could discuss this too, but we should definitely do a March Madness episode and where to watch it in the area, because it just popped in my head last year. We watched it at where did we watch it? We watched it at Chickies and Pete's down the shore in Atlantic City. and that was tremendous. People looking for something to do that are kind of planning what they're going to do for March Madness. Oh man, I think we watched the Friday games there the first weekend because the Maxwell Football Club award show was there. I try to go to it every year. It was killer. That's a side.
I got some ideas we can talk about.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of really good ones. So
get some Samboner parties going.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have the Samboner summer party too, folks. Stay tuned for that. It's going to be late June. Sneaking on the shore for a week or two, hanging with Samboner Mick, going to a bunch of different bars and restaurants and featuring them, live shows.
Samboner bar crawl. How about that? You in, Jack?
I can drive the bus.
We'll finish up at the Seaview Inn and shoot a podcast, half in the bag.
All 100% in the bag. We could do the Seaview does an awesome bike crawl in the end of the year, like first weekend of September when everyone's gone. And it's like 100. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's in the middle of summer. It's like 300 people on bikes. It's chaos.
It's
like, like we'll talk about the QS thing, but we did a onesie pub crawl too. That was nutty. That was nutty.
Dude, I got plenty of questions for you. Well, next week, let everybody tune in for the shenanigans in Key West, Florida.
500. I think it was 500 onesies this year. 500 people running around Key West. Nutty.
I saw a tweet today. Well, I'll let you continue. I didn't know you're still going on your
No, you're good. We were the Cool Runnings Jamaican bobsled team for our group. But go ahead, Jack.
No, because we had before we get to the bar week here for your show, we did bar week, and of course, there's another Key West thing. And Will Kunkel literally made me laugh out loud at a tweet for the first time in a while. He just replied, "Colin single-handedly carries the bar tab for all the bars in Key West, Florida."
Hey, listen, if I'm at their bar drinking, it's going to be the bar of the week probably because it's a good spot, and I want to support them. So, Mickey, bar of the week for this week for the Samboner show, Mick McKenzie style. What do you got, buddy?
Bar of the week. Episode 13, Samboner Show. I am going to go with Hunt's Annex. The bar of the week is Hunt's Annex in Delaware County, Delco Pride. And it's a bar that I've been meaning to go to for a couple years now. So, like when we did season 1 of Wing Month, Hunt's Annex wasn't on the top 10 list. And let me just tell you, you get some shit when the local favorite isn't on the top 10 Samboner wing list, but they quickly became number 2. Almost had them at 1, man. They're that good. But we finally got our way over to Hunt's Annex in the Delco area. I think it's Brookland. Don't hold me to that. I'm terrible with little cities. But this bar the two hosts, the owners, Vince and Jackie, just put on an absolute display. I went over with a friend, Corey, Flyer Foodie Corey. Had a couple drinks, and they just put on an absolute display for us, dude. The wings were phenomenal. All the appetizers were phenomenal. They were serving us bar pizza, which was just out of this world. And just the absolute perfect atmosphere to just, unload, tie one on, watch a game, and have some friendly bartenders to boot was just, I was blown away. I'm like, dude, this bar's great, man. Like, what an underrated place. Maybe it's not. I just don't make my way over that way as much as I'd like to, because it's dude, that's a very important piece of the Samboner hood. There's a ton of good shops over there, a ton of good delis, cheesesteak spots. But yeah, Hunt's Annex, man, in Delco. Maybe
that's where our bar crawl is, in Delco.
You're not crawling there. You gotta get hit by a car if you crawl over.
Food and ambiance. What do you think? Out of 5? 5
food and ambiance, 5.
5.
Like, dude, when you go to a bar, right? Like, I'm a big fan. Like, the food's got to be beer above, and this was just A+ food all the way through the menu.
What do you got with the TVs?
TVs were unbelievable, dude. They were all brand new, like 50, 60, 70-inch flatties everywhere you looked. Like, if you went there to watch the football game, you were in good shape.
So 5 on the TVs. How was the service?
Service was top notch, dude. It's a 5 across the board. They put on an absolute show.
How were the beers on ice?
The beers. So here's a violation. I didn't have any beer. I did not have any beer, but they looked really, really cold. They had a full fridge of the Sea Isle iced teas and all this other crap drinks.
4 out of 5 on the beers. It's got to be on ice to be 5 out of 5.
I'd be shocked if they were not ice cold. But
so no beers for Mickey. You were going a recon trip, sober Mick.
Yeah, man.
Had to clean it up.
Drink every day.
Oh shit! Anything else here more Mickey before we wrap up this
show is off the rails. Tell Roger Goodell I said hello.
Hey, again, not my voice. Roger, if I ever have a chance to win a Super Bowl, I can't wait to give you a big old hug and then send Mick a picture of you and I. Who knows? Who knows?
Nah.
Mickey, we good, brother? Samboner out? What are we thinking?
Absolutely, man. It's always a good time here on the Samboner Show. Appreciate everybody listening in. Happy breakfast month. I know it's a grind. Gear up. We're only a good 10, 15 days away until we turn the page and we start firing up cheesesteaks again. March Madness and cheesesteaks, baby.
That's what the Samboners do.
That's what the Samboners do.
Oh, man. All right. Well, I'm Colin. I'm out. That's Jack. He's out. And that's Mick.
Keep on Samboning, everybody.
He's out, baby. See you guys. Have a great day.